everyone, I have a card share for you today, and this is using some new sets that I purchased from the Greetery, which is Betsy Veldman's new company. She used to design for Paper Tray Ink, and she left and decided to open her new company. So this is the set called Summer Sketches. This was just released this month. I'm not sure if it's still in stock. I have the stamps and dies from this set. And I also purchased the set that is, of course I don't have it in here. The Just Mason Around stamp set. And the stamp set is a layered stamp. I'm looking around for it because I had it right here. The Just Mason Around stamp set, which is a mason jar, as you can see in the die here. So I do have the coordinating dies for this. So I spent a bunch of time die cutting a whole bunch of these and then also stamping them out using my distress inks. And so let me share with you a couple of the pieces that I didn't use. I created a bunch. So here's the mason jar that I die cut and stamped. And the mason jar is created using these 3 colors from MFT. Snow Cone, Berrylicious, and Blue Raspberry. Okay, so this is again a layered stamp. They're still on my Stamparatus lids. Oh, here's the stamp set. The stamp set has a number of sentiments, and oh, I didn't stamp this onto the mason jar. I left it open. You can see how that looks. But it's got the bow, the 3 layers for the jar, and then some sentiments. And I did not stamp the sentiments on my cards yet because I'm not sure which occasion I'll use them for. But I know that I'll have to do that when I need to. So that's the jar set, and then that's just using regular stamping, using my Stamparatus lids. So I have 1 lid per jar layer, and the bow's on the first layer. So there's how I did the stamping for that. Now with the flowers and the leaves, I did that slightly different. Betsy Veldman actually has a video on her channel for the Greetery, her YouTube channel. If you just search for the Greetery, you should find it. She has this technique where she did some blending. I did not do that type of blending that she did where it's like 2 tones, but I did use her technique to do the inking. So I'm just pulling out a few different examples of what I did, because you can see I have extras for future cards. So I have little inkers for getting the ink off the ink pads, and so you just tap, you know, Warm Lipstick is one of the colors I used. You just tap into it and transfer that onto the stamp itself, you know, before you stamp it down. So I've got 2 actual colors of this tone. So the Warm Lipstick and the Festive Berries is what I use to create the red flowers right here. So you can see the lighter tone is at the tip of the leaves, while the darker is at the bottom because it's a 2-layer stamp there. And then the leaves, again, I use 2 tones there, and you'll see I have 2 separate daubers for that. And the colors I use for the leaves are over here. The Shabby Shutters and Mowed Lawn. That's how I got those 2 gradients for the leaves. And so I tried to vary them so that the leaves didn't all look the same. So the dark parts of the leaves, or the darker portions of the leaves, are towards the stems on the inside where you would naturally get a cast shadow, or on the other side of the leaf itself. This one probably shows more of that darker layer of the mowed lawn. So that's what I did for the greens. For the yellows, I actually have 3 colors for the yellows because I wasn't sure if I'd like the combination that I had. So I used squeezed mustard, mustard seed, and fossilized amber. So these are the 3 yellows that I used, and I have a dauber for each one of these. This was so fun, guys, just learning the new technique and seeing it, the results, like to have like the darker shades and the mixture of the oxides to blend is really nice. To me, really nice result. Here's a blue one. So the blue one, and to me these look like crocuses. I don't know why, but I know that crocuses don't grow like this. They don't grow along a stalk like that. So for the blue, I have Stormy Sky and Chipped Sapphire as the darker layer. And then I also have some purple ones, Milled Lavender and Seedless Preserves. And then I actually brought back in the Chipped Sapphire for the base of the flower. And this one probably shows it better. But you can see there's a little darker undertone here at the bottom of this leaf. And that's because I added back the Chipped Sapphire, just a touch of it at the base of the flower. Okay, and then that's it for the colors. So let me show you the cards. So if you guys are interested in that technique, just go to the Greeteries web YouTube channel, and you'll find the video that Betsy Veldman did on how to do this technique. And hers is more involved because she's blending like 2 different colors, like a yellow and a pink together onto one flower, and it's like a rose. So that's expected, right? Here's one of my cards, and so you see the mason jar. It comes with a bow, and I stamp the bows in different colors depending on what was used in the bunch of flowers that are in the jar. And I also did some ink blending on the base of the card so that it wouldn't just be against a white background. So I took some of the same blue that I used for the jar and blended it onto the card with my Distress Ink blending brush that I have reserved. So here is one of the cards, and I'll tell you that I haven't put the final sentiment on because I don't know whether I'll be using the card for a birthday or what. But I have all of these sentiments, and I have this die, and either I'll choose one from the jar sentiments, the Just Mason Around set, or I'll choose like one of these, like a happy birthday or thinking of you or something like that. So I've left that sentiment off the front because I'll put it on a little cutout, a die cut, and I'll stick it down here. So here's my first card, and then I did one in purple and yellows. I really loved how both turned out. I only created 2 because I wanted to take some of these extra flowers and put them in a different arrangement instead of using the mason jar, and then also use the mason jar extras that I cut out for some other cards. So that's it for now. I'll be back to share more later. Bye. Hi everybody. I have a small haul to share with you all today. I have some items that I purchased used, and then I have some other items. So I did get this My Favorite Things Mod Square Stacks. This is not the stitched one. This is just a regular one. You saw the tags that I created. Well, now there's a die for it. And I got the rectangular one, and this is the stitched square stack, stitched rectangle stacks from MFT. And I also got this Peekaboo alphabet from MFT. This is used from a seller that I also bought this particular set. This is an MFT set as well. It is the masculine graphic tee, so you can actually stamp, she had the die as well, stamp the images onto the shirt here. So I picked that up from a seller. And I don't know if I shared this. I think I did. So I put these 2 together because the Stampin' Up! Set is the same type of thing. Oh, sorry. Same type of thing as this. So I just kind of put the rubber band them together. So I got these today in a haul from Alta New. they had a sale. Did they have a sale? I don't know if these were on sale. They may have been. The Peaceful Reverie layered stamp set. So I got this bundle that had the mask and the die. And this set I ordered because I like how they did this layer here where you've got these little dots. So I wanted to try that out. And then I got the Build a Flower Crocus set. And I got the stamp and the die set for that. I don't think I have a crocus set yet. And then the 3D, Virginia 3D Rose die. And there's the die. And so this one doesn't have a stamp. You just cut all the papers in different coordinating colors, and then you layer it up to make a rose. So that is my haul, and thanks for watching. Bye. Hey everybody, I'm here with a haul. I actually am trying to put some things away so that I can do some crafting, but I got some orders in. So let me go ahead and share with you what I got. First, I purchased 3 used sets. Well, some of them are new. I don't think these have ever been used, but they are purchased from a D-stash. This is from the Ink Road. This set is called Spork. It's like a baby-themed set. And then this one is MFT Your Super. You got the little girl with the superhero. Oh, and this one has dies with it. And then I got this RG Studio 360 stamp set that is little cassette tapes. These are much smaller than I expected, but it's good to have different sizes. And you get these little sentiments down here in the bottom. So when I say smaller, I have those sets that I purchased, let's see, from MFT and Concord and 9th. And you can see the Concord and 9th one is about the same size as the MFT one. But you can see here, this size is probably about half the size of this one right here. They're much smaller. So good to have different sizes. I'm just going to store them all together so that I know when I'm creating a card, I can look for all the sets together that I have that are kind of similar. So I don't usually do that, but in this case, because they are specific to cassette tapes, I thought I'll go ahead and store them together. So I got those used sets. I think there's another used set in here. There is. It's Tiny Tags from Paper Tray Ink. Here we go. This is from a different D-stash seller. So you can see that there's these stamps as well as these dies. They coordinate with the stamp set. So I purchased that from a D-stash. Okay, and then I got a Paper Tray Ink haul. Now, for those of you who are watching this, the last day of their entire website sale is the last day of June. So whenever you see this, if it's before the end of June, you still have some time, but I know this may be cutting it close. So they've had the sale since like February or something like that. March maybe. So I went ahead and put one order in for some dies that came back in stock because they're replenishing stock, and I've been getting some notifications. So I went ahead and purchased some dies that I had on my wish list. And this is the Ivy and Bloom die. It coordinates with this stamp set that I already had, and I was waiting on the die to come back in stock, so I purchased the die. And that's the case with this entire order, pretty much. Except for a few dies that don't have coordinating stamps. This is called Big Apple, and you can see it's to hold a gift card, but I just thought, oh wow, I want to see how big this is, so here we go. Here's the Big Apple. I did get the stitching die for the apple as well. And then I purchased this die and stamp, and this is a shaker die, but you don't have to. You can use the bottom, just the bottom piece if you want. And then here is the stamp that coordinates with it. Because they're all on sale, 15% off, why not, right? I bought this set, which is called Seeds of Knowledge. So I bought the stamp and the die set in this order. I didn't have this yet. And then I got the dies for this stamp set that I've already shared. This is called Bitty Bouquets. The die set came back in stock after I had just gotten the stamp. So I went ahead and had purchased since they came back. And then these are all standalone dies. These are pine boughs. There's 2 in this set. I purchased the stitching floss bobbin. So there's 2. There's a this piece here and this piece. And then I purchased the Stars and Stripes die. These are just different size stars for card making. And then these 4 dies, I might have some of these already, but I purchased these because they were pretty cheap. And these, if you sew or stitch, I'm sorry, these out of felt, you can make an ornament that looks like, you cut 4 sides to do this, I believe. And each one is a different level of detail. And you can cut, you know, 2 and 2 or 4 of the same design. This is rather complicated. I don't see myself doing this one all that often, but you can cut, you know, any one of these and sew the 4 pieces together to create an ornament for a Christmas tree. And then this is the mitten die, and I didn't have this one yet. You can make a card out of this one, but I wanted to use it for a tag, a mitten shaped tag, more like a oven mitt as opposed to a mitten. And then this one, I already have this in my set, but I use this a lot. I want to keep this out so that I can just cut it whenever I want to. The other one that I have already is stored with my quilted dies. There's a whole bunch of dies that Paper Tray Inc. made and stamp sets that coordinate with this tag sale die. And I haven't shared those projects yet, but I have shared other projects before where I've made stuff with this die. And the little quilted sets actually coordinate with this. So I purchased another one because this one came back in stock, and it's been out of stock for a long time. But I wanted a second so I could just keep this one with on my desk. I think that is all for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back and hopefully share something later. Bye for now.